What's going on there, fellow YouTubers? This is Chris from the Msss Anomalies channel. Alright guys, I don't know if you noticed right off the bat, the audio is different here. I've just purchased a Samson studio mic, and I've been fooling around with it and testing it and everything else. Hopefully I got this thing set pretty decent. As far as level-wise, I don't want it to be too low, don't want it to be too loud, because you don't want to overdrive the thing. But anyway, I think it's definitely a huge difference between the boom mic, and I don't mean so much volume, I mean as far as more quality to bring out the voice, and more, you know, it's just more quality, period. Now the room that I'm in is like a 5x5. I call it the mini man cave, so the acoustics is not going to be the best in the world. So I'm hoping it sounds pretty decent, because through the headphones it does sound pretty well. But again, I'm in this small mini man cave kind of thing, because I've got all my radio gear behind this computer, and I've got all my tools and electronics here up on the shelves there around me. So hopefully it'll sound pretty decent. So yeah. All right, let's move on. This picture here I'm going to show you is just, I mean, I don't even know where to start sometimes. I mean, it's just one of those bizarre pictures that'll just have you thinking, what the heck is going on here? Okay. This one right here, I believe it's from Sol 545, which is like the newest one out. And right off the bat, I mean, you look at it, you say, well, I don't see anything bizarre. I see a bunch of rocks and so on and so forth. And you'd be correct. But it just makes you wonder why this is just so dark and those are just so light. I mean, come on. Let's say this is a sunny day. I mean, why would this be all completely so darn dark? And these would be completely lit up, or very well lit. Well, my thing is, and I've been saying this all along, these are fake. And I mean, I've showed you things that are actually hidden in these mountains, and I'm still looking for this stuff, believe me. I had a couple people comment saying, hey man, you know, is it possible you're just seeing these cars that you keep putting in your videos, and so you want to see them, so you are? No. I don't believe I am, because here's the thing. I strongly believe that the rover was actually put here, and there's structures, vehicles. I think it was landed, it was put right in a spot where there's a bunch of roadway, or a network of roadways, if you will. This here, I believe, is both this mountain ridge. Well, it's supposed to be a mountain ridge. It's actually the outer, or the inside wall of the Gale crater. And behind the rover right now would be, you know, Mount Shop, or as I like to call it, Mount Fake or Mount Garbage. Okay, so this is not real, and a lot of this here is just, like I said, is going to have you scratching your head. Because even in this middle part of this right here, I call it fudging, and, you know, or just really trying to hide what's really in this picture. And you're going to see this when I show you. I can't tell whether these are vehicles. Structured. I believe there's actual structures in here. I believe there's actually vehicles, or at least there's a foundation of a structure. There's actually what look like vehicles, and I don't mean strictly cars. You notice how I'm saying vehicles. Vehicles is anything that can move people. I don't care what you call it. You can call it a hovercraft, you can call it a spaceship, call it what you will. I don't care. To me, it really doesn't matter, because it's on Mars. That should be your biggest question, and that should be what's really puzzling you more than anything. Because, again, I've said this 100 times, if this is true, this is actually on Mars, and I believe it is, well, then they're going out of their way to hide this stuff. And I believe, like I said before, I've said it before, that there's some kind of major catastrophic, you know, event that happened here, and this is the reason why you're seeing this stuff the way you're seeing it. Of course, they are covering a lot of this stuff, too, guys. I mean, come on. They'll take like an object, let's say right here in the foreground, well, in the middle of the page. It's not really the foreground, but let me just zoom in here a little bit. If they had something here that was like on the ground, they'll literally put this shale-like looking rock on top of it. And I can actually see some of this is actually faked out. I mean, it's just, here's a good example. I didn't even see this. I didn't even, right here. What is this right here that's so round, it looks like a wall of some sort or something right there, just peeking out of this wannabe rock area. See it? Why does it look different compared to all of this shale or this flat rock? And it looks like some kind of wall of some sort sitting right there. I mean, come on. And that's just the smallest thing. I mean, believe me when I tell you. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this whole area. I'm going to just block off what I'm going to do, or at least mark off, I should say, or box off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use I'm going to equalize it to try to bring it out a little bit more. Because here's the thing, we're trying to bring out some of the darker areas, and it's not so easy. But let's see if we can just bring it out a little bit. Okay, let me jump in 200%. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed this right off the bat. I'm going to go back to the base, but this is what kind of got me puzzled. Look at this. Straight line, right here. And then there's what looks like it's kind of nothing right here, but then all of a sudden there's another straight line. And this item is sitting right between the two straight lines. So now right off the bat, I get puzzled. Okay, what is this thing? And believe it or not, it looks like one of these luxury cruisers that cruisers, or these ships that people have. These multimillionaires, they have these things. But it also kind of reminded me of like this cruise ship kind of thing with stacks. And what I mean by that is like the exhaust stacks from the engine room. You get like it looks like it's knocked over on the top of this. Now right there, it looks kind of square if you look at it. But when you enhance this thing, and I believe that if you look at this thing, if it is a pipe of some sort, I don't know what it is. Now, inside of a pipe, if it's a pipe, it would be dark, right? Well, I'm going to show you that right in a minute. It actually looks like it's lit. This is the reason why I believe this whole picture, and this is the reason why, another thing, guys, is this is the reason why I believe that it's easy to work with black and white. Because you can invert a picture quite easily. You don't have to add any color. You don't have to do anything to it. Just invert it, dock it up a couple places, hide a few things, and you're good to go. And I think this is the reason why they're using a lot of these black and whites. I mean, you can see some color ones, don't get me wrong. I mean, you can see like just fake rocks or just simple rocks on the ground. Or it's got the Curiosity rover wheels in it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to see wheels. I already know what the rover looks like. I want to see the land, man. Okay. Mark it off. We're going to equalize it. And then we're going to brighten it up. Okay, now just blur it. Okay, now suddenly you can see these things here. This is what puzzled me. I'm looking at, let me jump in just a hair bit more. It's probably going to get a little bit more blurry or pixelated. But this is what I wanted to show you. You can see like the straight lines up here as well. See how it kind of goes down? Well, there's a stitch right here on the picture going all the way down. So you got this kind of, this should be straight across, but it looks like a step down right here. I believe that's all straight across. But like I said, there's a stitch line right here that they have actually done this picture. Okay, goes across, stops here at this corner, comes forward, and then goes across. Is it possible this is some kind of foundation of a building? I don't know. But if you look to the left here, to the back, there's a rectangular item, another darker one laying right here, and there's something else. There's 2 or 3 things sitting right here, and it's really hard to see this stuff, guys. Excuse me. Okay. This right here, this is what's even more bizarre. It looks like it has sections of, man, I don't even know what you'd call them. I mean, if you were to take a train, like we know of today, there's like box cars, there's certain, okay. They're actually like a square, goes across the top, and goes in like a point, and then comes back out like a V. Like a V-shape kind of facing to the left. And then when you go to the other side of it, it's got a point, like a V-shape. And they're interlocking. They interlock. There's 1 or 2 of these, or 3 of them that I've seen that actually interlock with this thing. So I'm going, okay, that's pretty bizarre in itself. And you can see it right here. Just as one single one actually points that out. Goes across, then comes back down. So this one comes up to like a small, well, I shouldn't say a small. It's more of a rounded point. And this one's just the opposite. And then this one here kind of meshes in with this one. So, but you can see they actually scribbled something out here. It looks like, I don't know if there's something round, like this is some kind of vehicle or a building of some sort. I can't tell. There's something right here that's rounded. You can see in the background. They really did a good job on this picture, really messing this thing up. But again, in the foreground here, look at this. Straight line going across. On the other side, there's another straight line. And what's sitting right between there? Well, there's something I want you guys to pay attention to. And in my last video, well, not my last one, I should say the ones I've done prior, one of them was called, see if I can remember, it's been a while, Rock Nest. It was Rock Nest flagged BS. And what I showed you guys, especially in the back of the mountains, it looked like these, I don't know what they were. They looked like giant spaceships. Well, at least the way they were in that mountain. And what you could see was the actual outside of it, of course, and you could see the whole whatever it was, but you can actually see the actual line or the outline of this whatever it is going actually below the sand. How is that possible? So it makes you wonder, okay, why would anything go below the sand? Meaning, why would you be able to see the outline of it? If something's buried in the sand, you're sure in heck not going to see the bottom of it, and you're not going to see, the outline of it. Now, again, this is where it puzzled me. Look at this item right here. It looks like it's got some kind of weird stack on it, but look at this. It goes down, goes across, but you can actually see the bottom of it. It's actually coming down, and it actually has a step right here. It goes like this, goes over here, and comes up. But you'll also notice other things right here, too. Now, watch this. Okay, it's blurred out. And you can see this right here. Now, it doesn't look very cylindrical right now. It looks more like a square or rectangular. Well, square at the end, but rectangular shape. Okay. So now, the reason why I say it, now watch when I invert this, watch what happens to this thing. Suddenly now it looks more rounded, and it kind of comes down. And it has something round right here. But look at this. This is what puzzled me. It looked like almost like a cruise ship. Only it's not, because this stuff is not very far away from this rover. It really isn't. Okay. But see how it's got like these openings here? And it kind of comes down like this. Now, there's going to be a part 2 to this, because I just looked at another picture, which was even more bizarre. It actually looks like this has some kind of frame to it. And it looks like, well, I mean, I was thinking, the first thing that popped in my head, if this was a roadway, and I'm not saying it is, but if it was, because, you know, like I said, there's a line, and then this is sitting in between them. Okay. If that's true, and this, I was thinking right off the bat, it had some kind of frame here. Is it possible it was a bridge? Now, I don't know. Okay. Now, even over here, and I'm going to go back to this in a minute. Even over here, look at this, how this is rounded right here. Almost like you'd see, you know, in a lot of these bases, military bases we have today. They got these hangars, and, you know, they might be holding aircraft, or they're just office buildings, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But you can see how, like, it's all blacked out, like they hid something here. It's all hidden. See how it's just like, it looks like they just kind of just scribble it out, kind of like they did in the old moon pictures way back, you know, in the 60s and 70s. They kind of just scribble it out. You can just see it just doesn't look right. It just, I don't even know how to explain that, but it's just, it's wrong. I mean, it just, you know, when you blur it, you can see something here. It looks like 2 little openings, and you can see like a faint line of something going right across, and see it? Right there. There's actually other things there that's like squared out and everything. Now, some people say, well, that's pixelation, and you know what? You could be right. But let me just do this. I'm going to go ahead and, now watch when you invert. Now, all of a sudden, you see this right here. It's got this line, and it's got, now these openings are now white. There's something sitting right here, and it looks like it's got these small, now let me just back out a little bit. Now, you can see what I'm talking about. Got this line, goes across. Now, if you looked from here, and let's say this was, I'm going to say hypothetically, this was a road, because you can still see this straight line still continuing. Is it possible these are other vehicles? Just like all in a row. Now, I'm not saying they're vehicles. They could be houses. But, yeah, you'll see in a second. It just gets more and more puzzling. Like I said, let me jump back in. This is what really caught my eye. Now, I was talking on Skype with Christian, and we were going over this picture, and I never even noticed this thing until after we got off Skype. This was just totally insane, because now look at this way this is round. Now it kind of shows like if this is some kind of cylindrical object and it has an opening like a pipe, well, now it's more dark in the inside as opposed to more of a light. Doesn't make any sense, meaning it's lit up. And now it's just the opposite. See it now? Okay. But I can see, like, it looks like this is all ruined and wrecked right here. I don't know what this thing is, but it actually goes down below this, down here, takes another step, and it kind of goes up and over. But there's other things buried in here as well. Okay. Now, see the outline of this? It kind of, like, stops here, but then it keeps going right here. Goes up to here. Okay. Here, it actually has some kind of weird thing coming down. And you're going to see this goes over to here. Watch this. Okay. It goes around, 1, 2, kind of comes down, and goes like this here. Look at this. Whatever this thing is, it actually comes down below this sand surface, so to speak. And that's what's puzzling to me. I'm going to back out and show you this to you guys. See how it just comes down? This is supposed to be sand here. Watch this. You don't notice it that much, but it's supposed to be sand. How are you seeing the outline of this thing going? And you can still see it right here. Boom. Comes across here, down here. How is this possible if this is nothing more than, you know, just ground in a simple rock? Now, this is what I mean by manipulation. They're hiding a bunch of things that are laying here in this foreground. Well, it's kind of the background, but the way I got the picture right now, it looks like the foreground. And I mean in front of this, whatever this is. And watch when I invert this, suddenly this will start to pop when I go brightness and contrast. See it? So that's what I'm saying, guys. What is this stuff, and what are they hiding here? And of course, we know they're good for that anyway. But anyway, I'm going to blur it up a little bit. Okay. Now, the back here suddenly turned into these things here. They're still here. Whatever they are, they're sectioned off. There's like a bunch of little ones just hiding right there, or just kind of in plain sight, but just kind of hidden. There's that rectangular item there. The smaller one is right there, and there's something right here. I don't know what that is. And there's another thing too. Let me jump in. I don't know if I'll be able to see it. Right here, there's some other weird thing right here. Very, very light, but it's in there. Right there. I don't know what that is. But again, here's those lines, those rails, or whatever these are, going all the way across. And it goes like, you can just see this line going all the way down. And on the other side as well. See, like this straight line here, and then it has with these things going across here. I don't know what the heck this stuff is. But now here's an up-close picture of this, whatever this is. Like I said, it looks like it's been broken apart or busted to pieces, but you can see something here. Has these, and it has this come down, goes across, and it has, I'm going to show you the next video. It actually has what looks like structure to it, like it's a building or a vehicle or something to that. I don't even know what this is. You guys can tell me. It's just crazy. Like I said, this here, and if you notice though, they're always in a row. Every time they take pictures of something, there's something there, there, there. And the other picture I just seen, which is in this same area, only more to the left, it looks like there's some kind of weird structures or vehicles or whatever these things are. But I'm going to try to pull them out a little bit better too, because they're really, really messed with. But anyway, so I'm going to sharpen up, and I'm going to throw some color in this. I usually put like a blue, because you try to pop this thing out. Now, before I do that, check this out too. I don't know if you guys noticed this. See how there's this ghost of something sitting right here? And it looks like it's all mangled right here, but it looks like a piece sticking out right here, like rectangular, and it's busted off of this piece. See, it's almost like these should go together right here. But you can see something's right there. Even when I go to the stock picture, you can still see the line of it goes like this. And, of course, it's digitized out. You can see it looks different compared to the rest of this. Now, watch this. Okay. See, it's starting to come out a little bit more. Okay. And when you invert, you can see that whatever that is, and it has like something right there, and there's something at the bottom. So that's what I'm saying is, and look at this, there's something else hidden right here. I don't know what this stuff is, but it's clearly not just simple ground. Look at this, there's something square right here. Going across. There's a corner to it. Boom, corner, rectangular openings. Now, people will say, well, that's pixelation. Okay, let's back out so we don't pixelate it. It's even clearer. So, I mean, they're hiding a bunch of things all over. Look at the way this thing comes around. Look at this. Around, comes over to here, and it kind of curves back over here. Something comes up to it here and comes around. See that right there? I mean, come on. What is this stuff? It's all over this picture. I mean, you look, even in the background here, there's something right here. And it goes across. It has these little openings to it. This actually looked like another vehicle right here. Sitting right here, you can see what looks like the wheel well, windows, rooftop, and of course you can't see the front. I'm not saying it is one. It looks like, you know, these guys, they take me really literal because I'm just going by what I see here on Earth. And I just try to match it with what I see here. I'm not saying I'm correct on everything. I'm just saying that this is what they appear to be. And there's a lot of things because we don't know what they are, because if we knew what they are, we'd have NASA bagged in a New York second. So we don't know. Okay. Sharpen up. Now I'm going to put some color into it. And again, you can see it seems to pop this out a little bit more, even right here. And you've got that piece coming down, and there's one coming up. It almost looks like whatever it was, it broke off from here. And see this rectangular opening? There's something in this. There's something all over here. Here's that corner piece. Right there. This goes across and then back towards the back. Rectangular openings. Here's that other piece right here, and I'm going to jump back in. You guys can see it a little bit better. See it? 1, 2, comes down. Goes around, goes like this here, goes back. There's just a bunch of things in this picture that you just, it's mind-blowing. Every time you turn around, there's something different. Now, see, like I said, it's got this wheel well. Well, it looks like a wheel well. I'm not saying that's what it is. And then it's got the back of it goes across, slopes down in the front, got windows in it. It kind of looks like a vehicle. Now, what these are, these could be buildings. Just like this area over here could be actual, like I said, a foundation of some building. Because when you go back to this, even when you go back to the normal picture, it looks like something going across, corner, comes forward, goes across, and it looks like it's got some kind of structure to it. Is it possible that this was a foundation of a building and that there's some vehicles around it? Or I don't even know what these are. This is the reason why I want you guys, and this is the reason why I want you guys to do your homework, because here's the thing. You might see something totally different in this picture. Totally different, and I wouldn't, you know, And I don't care, because here's the thing. I want to show you what I see, get up close to it, try to manipulate this thing so I can actually bring out these things, and then you guys can make your own conclusions. And I know a lot of you guys will do that, because that's the way you guys are. You're hardcore, like, you're skeptics, which I like. You're hardcore as far as skeptic-wise, and you just want to know what this stuff is. Now, to me, these don't look like simple rocks. They just don't. Now, what these things are anyone's guess. It's as simple as that. Now, watch when I back way out. You can just see this thing right here. Look at the way that thing comes down. It comes down in the front, has this little step, goes over to here, goes back up. Now, this stuff is... Now, I thought about this. How about this one? Notice how this is, like, lighter? Now, this could be the manipulation. Is it possible this was some kind of weird little ship or something like that, and you're actually seeing water right here? I mean, is that possible? I mean, again, I'm just throwing an idea out there. I'm not saying that's what this is. But it just... I mean, is it possible... See the way that... Is it possible it's some kind of... I don't know. Canal type thing? Is it possible it's something like that? Or is it just simply... like I said, I believe this is all crap right here. They made it look like just sand and part of the ground. But you should not be able to see this object underneath this sand, if that's what this is. And that's why I said there's a whole lot of bizarre stuff going on here. I mean, just look around. You can just see these little shapes and stuff just right there. I mean, I don't know what that is. Next to what I thought was like this little... Like there's something else right here. It looks like it... Whatever this is, it looks like it's just clustered together. It's been slammed together somehow. I mean, it just looks like everything's just thrown together like an absolute mess. And like I said, this is no different. It kind of looked like this weird cruise ship kind of thing going on. But I'll be honest with you guys. Look at this. If you back out to 100% and go back, so this way we don't get influenced by this part I just manipulated, this is not very far. If this was... Now, this was done by, I believe, the nav cam, which is up on the mast. And so, let's say below this picture is probably 2 or 3 feet is the actual front of the rover. Okay. This is 7 feet off the ground. Okay. At least where the camera is. Roughly around 7 feet. So you'd be standing up, you'd be like, if you were a 6-foot person, you'd be like right in this picture. I mean, clear as, you know, just plain as day. So, if you were standing, I'm going to just use a hypothetical. Let's say you were standing this high, because it's looking out, straight out over. So you could be like right here, your head would be right over here. And you could just walk over to these things. So they're not like they're super huge, but, and like I said, because it has this is the reason why I think it's some kind of weird roadway or some kind of canal or something, but it looks like there's foundations of buildings back here. Because it's squared off. It has like, well, it's actually right here. And it just has these weird things, like one behind the other, if you look at them. Now, what they are, is it just like a bunch of buildings in a row? You guys tell me. I mean, really. I mean, you guys analyze this thing yourself. Tell me what you think. And, you know, together maybe we can figure out what this stuff is. Let me do this. Let me move back in. I'm going to do the 100% so you guys can actually, if you're still using your magnifier, you can check this stuff out yourself. We'll go to the base image. And like I said, you notice how you don't see that other outline of this thing anymore? You can just barely see this. And I'll zoom back in. You can just barely see this right there. But it's there. Okay. I'm going to back out to 100. Because I've actually used a magnifier in this, and you can see things a little bit clearer, and you can see a little bit more details. And that's what this is all about, to actually find out what this stuff is. So, I mean, like I said, you can just see right here. Now it's starting to pop out, whatever this is, right there. Just comes down. Goes across, comes down again another step. I don't know. I truly don't know what this stuff is, but it looks like it's on some kind of roadway or something like that. Now, you guys tell me what you think it is, and we'll take it from there. And there's all these fake mountains, because even inverted, look how just, come on. And right here, and let's just jump right into the color itself. And there you go. That's it. I mean, I thought it was pretty bizarre. I didn't know what to make of this thing. And like I said, the more you get into this thing, you can see a lot more detail in here, guys. Like I said, just this alone, I didn't even notice this until I just started looking at the picture. This piece right here. Didn't even notice that until I just got into this thing myself. It's actually right here. There's a corner of it. And then you've got this piece right here. It looks like some kind of weird wall thing or something, whatever. All of this stuff is a bunch of crap, guys. I mean, I hope you guys realize after all of these videos, I mean, you don't even have to just watch mine. You can watch Will's over there, What's Up in the Sky 37. You can watch Christian's. Now we've got Msss Unmasked. Go watch these things. I mean, you can just see it. We actually show different things in our videos, but when it all comes right down to it, they're showing what is really here on Mars. As a collective, we're showing you what's on Mars and what they're hiding. Point blank. So, you know, I mean, there's no other way to say it, but that's it. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to let you guys go for now. And again, let me know, give me your take on what this mic sounds like to you guys. I mean, I've listened to it and it was a big difference. I went to my old video to now, and not so much audio-wise because I did bring it down to like, I think it's like 44% or at 44 notch. And it's just more of a more up-in-your-face, more flat quality sound as opposed to the more higher-pitched boom mic. So just give me your honest take on it, your honest take, and we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, as usual, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. If you're just watching, you're just a viewer, you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. And this way you can stay apprised of the upcoming videos and see what's coming up next. And throw me a thumbs up. Always appreciate it because, hey, there's nothing wrong with that, right? So anyway, guys, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next pick.